If your supply value is greater than demand value, we can add the dummy column. Now you can cross verify the demand value with supply value 30, 20, 15, 10, 20 and 22. So it is 117. First we have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. If it is balanced, you can proceed. If it is unbalanced, you have to add a dummy row or dummy column according to the requirement. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than the supply value. I will allocate 10 rupees to this cell. Hello everyone, I am Shweta, Computer Science Faculty, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Mysuru. Welcome back to my new session on Operation Research. In my last session, I have discussed about least cost method balanced problem. So today I will discuss least cost method unbalanced problem. So what is the meaning of this unbalanced? If your demand value is not equal to supply, then we can call it as it is an unbalanced transportation problem. So if you get unbalanced problem, how to make it as a balanced? Already I have discussed this in northwest corner method also, right? So if you get unbalanced problem, so you have to make it as a balanced by adding dummy row or dummy column. So unbalanced problem. If the total supply is more than the total demand, if the total supply is more than the total demand, then we add a new column. Then we have to add a new column with 0 matrix. If your supply value is greater than demand value, so we can add new column, that is dummy column with transportation cost 0. So with transportation cost 0, we can add a new column called as dummy column. So when we have to add a dummy column, if your supply value is greater than demand value, we can add the dummy column. And if the total demand is more than the total supply, if your total demand is more than total supply, then we add a new row with transportation cost 0. Then we add a new row with transportation cost 0. If your supply value is greater than demand value, we have to add a new column. And if your demand value is greater than supply value, we can add dummy row. This technique we have to use when you get an unbalanced problem. We can apply this method. So let us understand with an example. So here you have a table, destination and source S1, S2, S3. We have destinations and source. Here you have to find the total transportation cost. Total transportation cost you have to find using least cost method. Using least cost method, we have to find the total transportation cost. So in this problem, first you have to check the supply value and demand value. Add all the supply values and add all the demand value and compare with supply and demand value. If it is balanced, we can proceed. If it is an unbalanced, we have to add a dummy row or dummy column according to the requirement. So here we have 15, 25. 15 plus 25 is 40 and 40 plus 42, 82. 82 plus 35 will get 117. So supply value is 117 and add all the demand values 30, 20, 15, 20, 10 and 20. So it is 95. So it is not a balanced problem. It is an unbalanced problem because the supply value is greater than demand value. If your supply value is greater than demand value, so we have to add one dummy column. So here I have added one dummy column with 0 matrix. So 117 minus 95 means it is 22. So 22 have added in demand column. I've added one dummy column with 0 matrix. So, 0 matrix with demand value is 22. Now, you can cross verify the demand value with supply value 30, 20, 15, 10, 20 and 22. So, it is 117. So, it is balanced. Now, it is balanced. Now, you can cross verify this 15, 25, 42, 35. It is 117. If it is balanced, we can proceed further. So, what is the next step? So, here using least cost method, have to find the transportation cost. So, least cost method. In least cost method, what we have to do is we have to select the least number. So, here we have number of variables. In this variables, we have to select the least value. So, which is the least value here? Least value is 0. So, first you can consider any zeros. We have 4 zeros here. You can consider any zeros. I will consider the first 0. So, now this is my least value. You just check the supply value with demand value. So, which is the least value? Supply value is least than the demand value. I will allocate 15 rupees to this cell. Least cell is 0. I will allocate 15 rupees to this cell. So, it will become 0. 0 means in supply and demand value, if you get 0, so you can cancel entire row in supply. If you get your demand value is 0, you can cancel entire column. So, if your supply value is 0, so I will cancel this variables. So, now 22 minus 15 is 7. So, still we have 7 rupees in demand. Now, next least value. I will consider the next least value. The next least value is again 0. You just check the value of supply and demand. So, here demand value is lesser than the supply value. I will allocate 7 rupees to this cell. So, here will become 0. If it is 0 means I can cancel all the column. So, 25 minus 7 is, it is 18. So, 18 rupees is there in supply. So, now next least value. Next, I will select the next least value. So, next least value is 2. It is 2. So, least value is 2. Out of these variable, we have 2 is the least value. So, I will take this 2 is my least cell. And you just take this demand value and supply value. Supply value is higher than demand value. So, I will allocate 20 rupees to this cell. And 20 rupees means it is 0. I have allocated 20 rupees. So, it will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire column. Now, 42 minus 20 is 22. We have 22 rupees in supply. And next least value. So, which is the next least value? Next least value is 3. You just take the supply value and demand value. Demand value is 30 and supply value is 18. So, I will allocate this 18 rupees to this cell. So, it will become 0. And now, 30 minus 18 is 12. So, 12 rupees are there in demand. So, now, if it is 0 means you can cancel this entire row. Clear? And next I will select the least number. So, next least value is 4. We have 2 4s. You can select any 4. I will select this is my least cell. You just take the demand value and compare with supply value. So, supply value is higher than the demand value. I will allocate 12 rupees to this cell. So, it will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire column. And now, 22 minus 12 is, it is 10 rupees. And now, I will select the next least value. Next least value is out of these variables. The next least value is again 4. Now, you just take the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than the supply value. I will allocate 10 rupees to this cell. So it will become 0. I can cancel this entire column. And 35 minus 10 is 25. And the next least value, we have 4 variables, 7, 5, 10 and 9. Out of this, least value is 5. You just take the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than the demand value. I will allocate this 10 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire row. And 20 minus 10 is 10. We have 10 rupees in demand. So still we have two numbers, 10 and 9, which is the least value. Least value is 9. You just take the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than the supply value. I will allocate 10 rupees to this cell. So it will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire column. 25 minus 10 is 15. Now we have only one variable, that is 10. So 10 is my last digit. You just cross verify the demand value with supply value. Supply value is 15, demand value also 15. For the last digit, keep in mind, for the last digit, your demand value and supply value should be same. For the last digit, your supply value and demand value should be same. Here, demand value also 15 and supply value also 15. Then I can proceed. I will allocate 15 rupees to this cell. So it will become 0. I can cancel this. It will become 0. Now, have completed all the cancellations. After the cancellation of the variables, I can find the transportation cost. How to find the transportation cost? You just consider all the allocated cells. So before finding the transportation cost, you have to find is the problem is non-degenerate or not. How to find non-degenerate? So we have m plus n minus 1. Number of rows plus number of columns minus 1. So number of rows means m. Number of columns is n. So number of rows means we have 4 rows plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns minus 1. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. So here, how to calculate its non-degenerate or not? So here, for finding the non-degenerate, you just consider the allocated cell values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got the same value, right? So allocated cells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got same value. It has non-degenerate. The problem has non-degenerate. After that, you can find the transportation cost is equal to, just consider the allocated cell values. 3 into 18 plus 4 into 12 plus 2 into 20 plus 10 into 15 plus 4 into 10 plus 5 into 10 plus 9 into 10 and 0 into 15 is 0, 0 into 7 is 0. So now find the transportation cost. Your transportation cost is 472 rupees. Your transportation cost is 472 rupees. So this is your final value. So here, first we have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. If it is balanced, you can proceed. If it is unbalanced, you have to add a dummy row or dummy column according to the requirement. After that, you have to select the least variable, least cell, and you can compare with supply value and demand value. So this is your least cost method unbalanced problem. Next example. Here again we have 3 columns and 3 rows with supply and demand value. First check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. 76, 82 and 77 is 235. So it is your supply value. And add all the demand values. And 72, 102, 41 is 215. So is it balanced? No, it is not a balanced problem. It is unbalanced problem because supply value is greater than demand value. So supply value is greater than demand value means we have to add one dummy column. So here, now you can cross verify the supply value and demand value. So 72, 102, 41 and 20 is 235. And 76, 82, 77 is also 235. Now it is a balanced problem. Balanced means I can proceed further. So here dummy column is D4. And what is the first step for finding the least cost method? So here I have to select the least variable. So least value is, we have 0, 0, 0. 3 zeros. You can select any zeros. So 0 is my least value. So you just cross verify the demand value with supply value. Demand value is lesser than the supply value. I will allocate this 20 rupees to this cell and it will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire column. 76 minus 20 is 56. And the next least value. So here the next least value is 4. You just cross verify the demand value with supply value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. I will allocate 56 rupees to this cell. So it will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire row. 72 minus 56. 72 minus 56 is, it is 12 rupees. 72 minus 56 rupees is 16 rupees. So here in demand I got 16 rupees. And next select the least value. The next least value is, it is 8. 8 is my least value. You just cross verify the demand value with supply value. Supply value is higher than the demand value. I will allocate 16 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. And I can cancel this entire column. And 77 minus 16. And 77 minus 16 is 61. So 61 rupees have in supply. And next select the least value. We have 4 variables, 24, 16, 16 and 24. So 24 is higher than 16. So I will select 16 is my least value. So I will select this cell. So 61 and 102. 61 is lesser than 102. So I will allocate 61 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. 0 means I can cancel this entire row. 102 minus 61 is, it is 41. So I have 41 here. And the next least value is, 16 is my least value. And you just compare the supply value with demand value. So demand is lesser than supply. I have allocated 41 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. And I can cancel this column. 82 minus 41. It is 41 only. And the last digit is 24. Everything have cancelled except this 24. So it is my last digit. You just compare the supply value with demand value. Both the values are same, 41 and 41. So allocate this 41 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. You can cancel this. It will become 0. So now all the cancellation has done. What is the next step? You have to find the transportation cost. And if you want to find the non-degenerate, you can find using this formula m plus n minus 1. So number of rows are 1, 2, 3. Number of columns 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 minus 1, it is 6. You just cross verify the allocated cells. So it should be 6 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is non-degenerate. And find the transportation cost. 4 into 56 plus 24 into 41 plus 16 into 41 plus 8 into 16 plus 16 into 61. So 0 into 20 is 0 only. So final answer is 2,968 rupees, your total transportation cost. So this is about your unbalanced least cost method problems. And the last problem is, here we have only 2 rows in source, we have 3 columns in destinations. You just cross verify the supply value with demand value, whether it is balanced or not. 500, 300 is 800 and 250, 250, 500, 500 plus 500 is 1000. In supply, we have 800, but in demand, I have 1000. Is this balanced? No, it is not a balanced problem. It is unbalanced problem. So, what you can do? So, you have to add the dummy row because here demand value is greater than supply value. So, if your demand value is greater than supply value, you have to add a dummy row. So, here 1000 minus 800 means 200 is shortage. So, I have added 200 rupees again. So, 500, 300, 200 is 1000. 250, 250, 500 is, it is 1000. So, now it is a balanced problem. Now, it is in balanced. It is a balanced problem. Now, you can move further. So, what is the next step? So, next step is we have to select the least value. So, which is the least value? Again, we have 0. We have 3 zeros. You can select any 1 zeros. So, I will select the first 0. Just cross verify with supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. So, I will allocate 200 rupees to this cell. So, it will become 0. I can cancel this entire row. 250 minus 200 is 50. I have 50 rupees in demand. Again, select the least value. The next least value is, it is 12. 12 is my least value. Supply value is higher than demand value. I will allocate 250 rupees to this cell. So, it will become 0. I can cancel this entire column. 300 minus 250 is 50. Right? And the next least value is, it is 16. 16 is my least value. Just cross verify the supply value with demand value. Supply value is lesser than the demand value. Have allocated 50 rupees to this cell. Will become 0. Cancel this entire row. 500 minus 50 is, it is 450. We have 450 rupees. And the next least value is, out of 26 and 28, we have only 2 digits. 26 is my least digit. So, you have consider the supply value and demand value. Supply value is higher than demand value. I will allocate 450 rupees to this cell. Will become 0. I can cancel this entire column. And 500 minus 450 is 50. And the last digit is, it is 28. You just cross verify the supply value with demand value. Both the values are same. So, I will allocate 50 rupees to this cell. Will become 0. Will become 0. So, now all the cancellation has done. So, what is the next step? So, next step is m plus n minus 1. Just consider the rows and columns. Number of rows are 3. Number of columns also 3. So, 3 plus 3 minus 1, it is 6 plus 6 minus 1 is 5. Allocated cells also should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, it is a non-degenerate. Now, find the transportation cost. 28 into 50 and 26 into 450 plus 12 into 250 plus 16 into 50 plus 0 into 200 is 0 only. So, find the transportation cost. The final answer is 16,900 rupees. So, this is your transportation cost for this problem. So, this is about your least cost method, balanced and unbalanced problem. So, if it is balanced, directly you can proceed. If it is unbalanced, please make it as a balanced by adding dummy row and dummy column according to the requirements. Least cost method is giving better procedures than northwest corner method. And the last problem, fourth problem, we have 4 destinations and we have 3 sources. So, here first you have to find whether it is balanced or unbalanced. Just cross verify this. We have 70, 55, 70 and 85, 35, 50 and 45. It is an unbalanced problem. So, make it as balanced by adding dummy row. So, here now you can find the demand value and supply value. Both the values are same. Please practice this problem. This is your assignment question. So least cost method is best procedure compared to northwest corner method. So this is your last problem. Please practice this problem. It is your assignment question also. And if your supply value is higher than demand value, you can add dummy column. If your demand value is higher than supply value, please add dummy row. So in this problem, we have to add dummy column because supply value was higher than demand value, have added dummy column. Now you can practice this, right? So please practice all the problems of northwest corner method, least cost method. Easily you can score in transportation problem. Least cost method gives best procedure than northwest corner method. So we can find the least transportation cost. And next I will come with a new concept called Ogle's approximation. It is better than this least cost and northwest corner method. It is very simple concept, my dear students. Easily you can score in transportation problem. So in my next session, I will discuss BAM method. Thank you.